Start recording. Oh, no, 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 no. Need to edit this. Edit. Alright, let me go check Austin Tech Live. There we are.
Nice.
Alright. While I'm in there, though, I'm going to delete a stream. Gonna kill this one. Cool. Alright.
Sweet.
All systems go.
Nice.
Kind of.
Testing, 1 2 1 2.
1, 2.
See somebody with a question, we'll bring the mic.
Roger.
The hand
We'll
mic
just,
and then
we'll
take it. Yeah.
give it to him, or we're gonna.
Yeah, you.
Hello, hello.
No, you give it to them.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. How are you today? in tech. I figured since many veterans, you guys know how to silence down once I said at ease. I wasn't paying attention, but I didn't want you guys standing up. uh, good afternoon. I'm Anthony Gant here today with Shady DeZeus. We're both, I always call you Baby Jesus, so we're both here from Bunker Labs, and she's going to open us up with today's Vets in Tech.
All right, guys, welcome to Vets in Tech. I'm really excited for you guys to be here. This is Capital Factory's 2022 Veterans in Tech Summit. We had one last year, but this is definitely more robust than the past. So my name is Shady DeJesus, like Slim Shady. I've been in this ecosystem since about 2016 after a transition out of Bragg. It was an early exit for my husband, who was in the military. He was 82nd Airborne. And so for me, it's been really exciting to be in the ecosystem. For myself, I did my master's here at McCombs in tech commercialization. So Bunker Labs has a long history here with Bunker Labs. For myself, one of the updates is I was accepted to the George Bush Leadership Institute. So I'll be working on a military connected capital initiative at the national level. It's been I'd love Anthony to give a quick introduction.
I'm Anthony Gant, the founder and CEO of a company called At Ease. By a show of hands, who here was in the military? All right, keep your hands up if you ever PCS or went TDY or TAD. All right, so that's what my company does. It helps active duty service members and families find vacation rental homes, corporate housing that they can government orders and get reimbursed. Mainly because when I did it, I wasn't reimbursed about $1,000, and I thought that was a travesty that I went through. Marine Corps major. I retired after 22 years of service, 10 as an enlisted man, so I worked for half of my life. And then the last 12, I was an officer, so I didn't work that much. But today, I'm glad that you all are here. So you better support the military ecosystem and all of that. You're going to have a great day, and you're going to experience a lot. But before we talk about that, I'll let Shady go in and talk about how we got here.
If you're not familiar with Bunker Labs, we're a national organization in most of the major cities, even Bozeman, Montana. So we have about 30 cities in where we're active, and if we're not active in a city, we're active virtually. Especially like this week, we have 200 attendees flying in across the U.S., and we'll participate in our programming, which features CEO Circle, which is a partnership with JP Morgan Chase Commercial Bank and founders and C-suite executives. We also have the Ambassador Program, which is like in their journey, either post or during active duty. We also provide a veteran and residence program or internationally and develop their products through. So we're really excited for the opportunity today. Bunker Labs nationally, Blake Hogan, our CEO, his statement is, Bunker Labs is rallying America's top business leaders to build the next greatest generation of veteran and military spouse entrepreneurs. Capital Factory provides a center of gravity for entrepreneurial activity. Together, we can provide unprecedented access to create a massive impact. So we're really excited for you to be here, for you to connect through. And if there's somebody not in this ecosystem in which you can bring into the Bunker Labs, we really would appreciate those connections. Both entrepreneurs and military spouses engaging in whether it's deep tech through ag tech.
All right, so today we have a lot of activities in store for all of you that are here. As Shady said, we're both from Bunker Labs, so if you have any questions about the organization, as ecosystem ambassadors that will be storming Capital Factory. Panels where you hear from fellow veterans. You also hear from investors who come from a veteran background. where a couple of startups will pitch later on, and then there are going to be a lot of opportunities for you guys to network, and then at the end of the day, we're going to have a opportunity to go fellowship over beverages together as we do, like veterans do. So please get involved, ask questions, hoorah, and take as much out of this opportunity as you can.
And we actually have the luxury of having Joseph Kofster in here. He's part of a legacy of. Bring him up for a quick second.
Just real quick, my name is Joseph Kopser. What I want to encourage you to do today, whether this is your first event with Veterans in Tech or at the Bunker or at Capital Factory, or whether it's your 15th or anywhere in between, is that the real success of these events depends on Bunker Labs, Anthony and Shay assemble this great itinerary, but it's only what you pull out of it. It's during this networking to 5 or even 10 or 15 people. Only 2 or 3 are back because they're busy people. But if you want something done in person, and make sure you're shaking hands, getting to know folks, selling your idea, get that elevator pitch down to 15 seconds or more, because you want people to understand what is your passion and what is your work, what you're working on. And this is the group, and this is the on those ideas you have. So again, thanks for letting me come up. And just by quick biography, so we, Ride Scout, we're a bunker company going all the way back to 2014. In fact, we were the first company network that actually went through an acquisition and sold their company. And Austin, Texas, outside of Chicago when it was started 8 years ago. So there's a rich tradition, there's a lot of history there, and most importantly, there's a lot of people, civilian, military, veterans, and spouses that want to see your success, but they won't know your needs if you don't reach out and explain and connect and network and make sure they know your case and what you're working on. So Anthony, Shady, thanks for having me up.
Perfect. Thank you, Joseph. All right, so we would also now like to welcome Giancarlo Newsom, which is the Director of Capital Factory Center for Defense Innovation.
Thank you, Shady. I love that. I'm never going to forget Lady Jesus. That is awesome. It is so great to be here. I can't tell you how passionate I am to be here. And when you hear my background, I think you'll see why. So I'm a vet too. I also worked at first turning wrenches on helicopters. It was aviation, then commission, and like Anthony said, worked less, gotta admit it. And, but then I shifted to civil affairs. And when you look at civil affairs, civil military operations, this, in my opinion, this is future national security. Every one of you guys know how to serve, and I think you'll hear the spirit of Capital Factory. We focus on service first. Making money is an outcome, is a symptom of true service. And if you've served in the military, you know what it means to truly serve. So I'm excited as anything. I think your opportunities as entrepreneurs is unmatched. And I think Bunker Labs, both Capital Factory and Bunker Labs, are inspirations for what I'm doing in civil affairs. I am still in the Army Reserves. We're the 75th Innovation Command. If any of you guys want to join back up, we're looking for great people. The 28th and 29th of September is Federal Supernova. That is the Collider event for the innovation leaders of tomorrow. So, real quick, Center for Defense Innovation. What do we do? How do we help you? We have two main objectives. The first one is to introduce you to God. But those who are the squeaky wheel get the grease. And I'm going to turn over to Carly, who's going to explain to you more about the great work we're doing at Capital Factory.
Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So first, I want to ask who's in the room who this is their very first Capital Factory event. Hands? Whoa, that's a really good sign. All right, well, welcome y'all for your first time. For those of you who've been here before, impressive people. So first, I want to welcome DEI summits. So we do these summits throughout the year. We have 6 summits throughout the year specifically focused on various groups within the community to bring together not only but our community here at Capital Factory. So our next one is LGBTQ+ in tech, happening in August. So highly, highly encourage y'all to also attend the other ones. It's really great to see this room full of interested in veterans in tech. So thank you again for being here. I didn't tell you, I'm the Senior Chief of Staff here at Capital Factory, and always so happy to be involved in at these events. But thank you to our team, Ms. Haley Gearin, for getting all of this set up, and our team in the back. We got all of our team always supporting to make these things perfect. So thank y'all. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to introduce our fireside for today. I am very honored today to welcome 2 really, really incredible people in our community who I have been fortunate to get to know over the last year. Ms. Anita Roberts is I'm gonna look at my notes just so I don't mess up the years. Where she invests in women and African American founders seeking pre-seed or seed level financing. I have gotten to know Anita very well over the last year, and she's an incredible woman who is paving the way for so many. She is also a veteran herself. This is a note I really needed to look at. Anita served in the U.S. for 1 year, where she retired as Lieutenant Colonel. So Anita, I'd like to welcome you to the stage. And then as we do that, yes, please, round of applause. Well, welcome. And last but not least, I'm going to welcome Dimitri Julius. He is the Chief People Officer at Icon 3D. Have any of y'all heard of a house that's 3D printing homes here in Austin, Texas? So that's where Dimitri works. He's been there since the beginning and is building an incredible, diverse, an amazing team that is ready to take on this global housing problem. And I've gotten very familiar with the work that Icon's doing and the team they're building, and I could not be more excited to introduce him today. So Dimitri was in the U.S. Marine Corps for 8 years as an operations and logistics troop staff and non-commissioned officer. So Dimitri, welcome to the stage. And with that, I'm going to leave the conversation in these incredible hands, and y'all enjoy.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much, Carly. And welcome to the new Capital Factory. Welcome to all of you. I'd love to know who all are. I know there's a lot of veterans, founders. Just working in. Do you work in tech? Yeah? Okay, awesome. All right, awesome. Well, just kind of want to know who we are. And so tell us a little bit about Dimitri and what you're doing right now.
Absolutely. Dimitri Julius, nice to meet all of you. A special thanks to all the veterans out here who have sacrificed of themselves, given time, energy, faith, and confidence in everything that we're building towards the future that we want to have here in this country. So before we get started, I just wanted to extend a thank you to all of you. I've had the very fortunate opportunity of living in Austin, Texas for 16 years. My final years of service in the United States Marine Corps actually really prepared me quite well for this version of my life. I was able to serve at Camp Mabry effectively as a civilian for the final years of service while training reserve troops and also serving with the governor's office to have an opportunity to execute things like at the time, the nation's largest Toys for Tots campaign, $6 million worth of toys and goods to children in the broader Texas area, as well as more concentrated here in the Central Texas area. And that experience is one that I think prepared me for the opportunity to kind of transition. And that's one thing I hope we get into today, is like that awkward transition a little bit from all the structure and understanding what the day-to-day mission is versus kind of jumping out into the space and really supporting your ideas, your thoughts, and ultimately your businesses. And so super excited to be here to speak with all of y'all today, and hoping to really kind of dive in.
Awesome.
Yeah.
little bit about myself. As Carly said, I'm a retired lieutenant colonel. I spent a little bit over 20 plus years. I have a 27-year-old his entire life, traveling the globe with us. Served back in 2008 and then back again to Afghanistan. So, but it was great. Coming out of the military, I started my own company because I'm not sure if many of you, when I first retired, I could not find a job. And so I started my own company and just did the same thing I did in the military. Did, like I said, public affairs, created this company, and about 3 years later, another company in Florida wanted to acquire it. And so all of a sudden, I'm a successful entrepreneur. Go figure. So I guess I learned something good in the military. So that kind of catapulted me into the entrepreneurship space. But what I wanted to do, of course, being a person of service, wanted to make sure that I helped other folks. Some of the spaces that I was in, I was still the only woman, and that trend did not continue. So I created a nonprofit to to help guide those businesses, to help them gain more market share, and we've been really successful. That transitioned me into building this community of about 20,000 business owners just here in Central Texas, and from there we started to actually create a company called Silicon Hills Capital, and with that we actually fund startups. And not only do we fund Black and women-owned founders, we also fund veterans. So they're also underrepresented founders. So we fund veterans as well. So of course, I'm definitely anxious to hear about some of you guys and the companies that you have as well. So tell us a little bit about Icon and what you're doing.
Absolutely. So Icon is a construction technologies company founded right here in Austin, Texas, less than 4 miles away from where we sit right now as a crow flies, dedicated to solving one of the largest problems that we have in humanity, which is the lack of affordable, sustainable, and dignified housing in the world. And so 3D printing, as most people understand it, a little desktop thing that prints plastic yay wide and high. We've taken that concept and effectively scaled it to the size of a full-size home. So imagine a 30-foot wide robot that's about 20 feet tall and 10 feet in depth that takes proprietary cementitious material, concrete, mixes it right there on site, so we're not talking about prefab, and effectively builds your home layer by layer. So the first set of questions that we usually get is like, why would you use concrete? One of the cheapest, most is, well, are you sure that concrete's the most sustainable way to do this? Now, if you're judging dollar for dollar versus like bricks and sticks houses, the answer is almost unequivocally yes. We need to learn a thing called replacement rate. So if I build you a monolithic structure built out of concrete, with asphalt, with sheetrock, and with wood, the replacement rate on those homes are about 25 to 30 years. So in the time to depreciate at the same rate, depreciate, you're talking about a 5 or a 6x. And so, we win back all the sustainability when it comes. Oftentimes this conversation gets couched in the idea that like housing inequality is specifically for individuals at the lowest end of the socioeconomic ladder. While that is, and especially in some of America's greatest cities like Austin, Texas, baby. So there were teachers and firefighters and nurses abject poverty, profit. Experience your military record into a digestible set of words and adjectives that let people know exactly who you are, what you've done, and you'd be quite surprised at how in demand those skills that you already have are.
Absolutely. Austin, because I don't know if you guys know, but we have a homelessness problem here. Anybody know that? Yeah. So, were you guys involved in that? And is that one of the projects that you're working on?
Yeah,
and what
so
are some others?
while I will not take credit for the creation of Community First Village, they kind of outpaced us by a decade or so, because their focus as a nonprofit is to think about comorbidities that go along with houselessness, right? So when people think about, folks, effectively brothers and sisters of ours living under bridges, they think primarily about the house. And if that were the only issue, we probably would have solved homelessness already. Unfortunately, it comes with a whole host of other things that folks are dealing with, medical conditions, at times there are mental health issues, estrangement from family, a lack of capital, lack of access to adequate work. And so community focusing on tackling all of those things. Our part as a contractor in that is specifically to provide housing. And so Tim Shea is the first person on the planet living in a 3D printing house, and he was previously homeless. We worked on a series of homes with 3D printed homes. And companies like yours and some companies like Deloitte and other free time, and if that's something that you and yours are interested in, you should really do that. We're partners, folks, in the space as subject matter experts, and then we bring our technology to the table.
Awesome. And did you say at some point you were a founder? Or were you part of the building Icon?
So the really interesting thing about the founding of Icon is, I'm loving the opportunity to say this to all of you. Your first idea, your best idea, go-to-market idea could be a fantastic idea, and it could still fail. And it's really important to know that because a lot of factors outside of your control are actually going to be doing that. We offering that